What does it take to be a great leader? I think the answer will surprise you. Most of us think about leadership in terms of the ability to influence and inspire, to make great decisions, solve problems, and maybe even to serve and bring the best out of other people. And at the same time, I've seen people who are influential, problem-solving servant leaders, and they still struggle mightily because of this one single factor. Let's pause for just a moment and just think about this idea of what leadership really means. And everybody has more or less the same idea that being a leader is not simply about being special, it's about making other people special. And I think that's pretty common for everybody's definition. I've even heard it said that as long as you make anyone else special, you're now a leader. I think that's being too generous. Is that valuable? Absolutely. But I think that's what it means to be a great teammate. But if being a great teammate was all it took to make sure everybody succeeded, then every great team would continually win championships over and over again. And there are a lot of teams that just don't take first place. So there has to be more involved than just a healthy amount of emotional intelligence. From what I've both learned and experienced, there is one critical element that separates great leaders from everyone else. And that's this: the ability to handle disruption. And I'm not talking simply about the ability to just walk into any situation and create chaos. That's not what this is about. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine a river that's flowing fast and strong and heading to a cliff. On the edge of that cliff is this massive waterfall. At the bottom of that waterfall are boulders that are going to destroy anything that goes over the edge. Now, imagine you're the leader of a group who is responsible to get everyone from one side of the river to the other safely. You've got two choices. You can either find a way to get across the river using what's already there, or you can build an entirely new way to get across the river. In the first option, you see that there's rocks in the water that if you get the right steps in sequence, you can actually get the entire group from one side to the other. Now, that's not necessarily the most risk-free approach, but if you can get someone across the river and use them to get ropes put in place that people can hang on to as they use those rocks, you're actually minimizing the disruption involved for your team. Let's call that leadership style optimizing. You're taking what exists and minimizing any potential disruption so that you could get everybody across from one side to the other in the best way possible. The other option is to create an entirely new approach to get everybody from one side to the other. That might look like building a bridge. Building a bridge is going to take a lot of work. It's actually going to generate a lot of disruption, but it's probably the better way to get across this river, especially considering how fast it's moving. You're going to have to generate disruption. You're going to have to start building from one side and work your way to the other, and that's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and there's probably going to be a number of mistakes. Let's call that leadership style transforming. So now you have two completely different leadership styles: optimizing and transforming. If I take someone who has never built a bridge out of nothing before, even if they're an inspirational problem-solving servant leader, the chances of their success are going to be slimmer than if I take somebody who knows what it takes to build a bridge out of nothing and has the inspirational problem-solving servant leadership qualities that we want. The ability to lead disruption, to navigate everyone through all the complexities, that's a very different skill set than somebody who's good at minimizing disruption. You see, if I take somebody who's only good at building bridges from scratch and put them and say, look, you've got to use the rocks that are already in the river, and you've got to use the materials that are there, and you've got to get this done as quickly as possible, they're going to struggle as well. You see, they're two completely different skill sets. And frankly, two completely different mindsets. Too often we apply one definition of leadership to both scenarios. And then we wonder why leaders are struggling in their new roles or in their new organizations. So here's a big question for you. If you were to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being really strong, 5 being average, 6 being average with potential, how would you rate your ability as a leader who can minimize disruption, who can get things done quickly and smoothly without causing unnecessary stress? Now, same scale, how would you rate your ability to lead disruption, to transform, to generate chaos in a controlled way and deliver the outcome in a way that's never been done before? chances are you have two very different scores. And that's okay. It's rare air to find a leader who's great at both. Now, there's three big implications from this when you start scaling it out into an organization. First, the DNA of the most senior leaders in your organization are naturally good at one or the other. It's rare you have leaders who are good at both. And if you're being led by an optimizer, the chances of you having a strategy that's going to be transformative, where you're going to generate disruption, is either not going to exist or it'll be a pipe dream, because your most senior leaders are not good at transforming. I hear this feedback a lot. People who work for leaders who want to transform everything and become this wonderful new thing. And in the very next breath, they're cutting everyone off at the knees because they're generating disruption. That is a toxic situation that will never get better. And the same is true with the other style. If you have a bunch of transforming leaders who are great at disruption, and now it's time to optimize. Now it's time to end all the chaos and bring things down to a much more stable and steady state. Those leaders will walk around the organization creating fires where none existed. They're literally going to drive the optimizers crazy, which leads into the second big implication of all of this. And that's the systems that you're going to be operating with. When your strategy has been to optimize, all of your systems, technology, workflows, even roles and responsibilities have all been put in place to maintain that steady state of optimization. And now you're being asked to transform, to change things. Your system will fight you every step of the way. And again, it's true on the other side of this. If you are focused on optimizing everything and no systems exist, everything is designed to be disrupted and to stay disrupted, you are going to be fighting battles on the daily. Every meeting and every conversation you have will be biased away from getting optimization put in place, which leads into the third point. If your organization is led by one leadership style without making room for the other, you won't have the talent you need at a leadership level and to a degree at the management layer as well to get things done. Everything will bog down in either bureaucracy or chaos. You will have people in meetings where decisions have to be made that are unconsciously incompetent. They won't be aware of what they don't know how to do. They'll be looking back at previous accomplishments and putting all of their value into what they've done in the past that has nothing to do with what's happening right now. If you want to be a great leader, you need to know how to read the scope of your strategy. Is it generating disruption or is it minimizing disruption? Are you truly transforming or are you truly optimizing? You also need to read the systems that are in place. You need to know if the system is designed to help you generate disruption or minimize disruption. And you need to know if your organization rewards the leadership that it needs or punishes the leadership that it needs. In this way, the concept of disruption becomes both your secret sauce and your gauge to know whether or not you're in the right place at the right time. What do you think? Does this resonate with you? Does it make sense? Put a comment below and let's start a dialogue. And thank you for your time. Holo moa. Onward and upward.